All right, we're back at the ConquerCast here at the Mountain Ops headquarters. I have some incredible guests today, Jared Mills and Andrew Loucks, who are a couple of our ambassadors for Mountain Ops, and we're going to dive into their backstory and some things that brought them our way to Mountain Ops, why they've connected with us. Excited to have you guys here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We're thrilled to be here for
Absolutely.
It's awesome. I do want to ask you about what you experienced this morning as you saw some of our customers that have been through the 90-day Conquer Challenge, what that was like seeing them, but we'll get into that in a minute. It was funny because we were just down watching some of the Conquer Hunger video and telling that story and what we're doing there. And while the video was up, I was in Chat GPT thinking I've got our first and second and third ConquerCast today. And so I was looking for an intro for this podcast. So I went to Chat GPT and it gave me a pretty good one after about 5 attempts. It says, "Welcome to ConquerCast, where we navigate the rugged terrain of personal growth, resilience, and triumph. Join us as we conquer obstacles, celebrate victories, and inspire each other to reach new summits." So I kind of want to focus.
Really good.
It's pretty solid.
Kind of cool, huh?
Not bad.
If there was a better voice than mine saying that, it might sound really cool.
Sounds pretty epic, really.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that, your experience with the brand and things in your life that maybe you've had to go through or that you've conquered or, we do this with our team at Mountain Ops on a weekly basis. Somebody shares downstairs in our morning huddle. We didn't do that this morning because we had a lot to go through, but they share with us how they conquer in life. It's kind of been a tagline of ours, how I conquer. In my opinion, it's moved from how I conquer now to how we conquer, because in my life, I haven't been able to see any success on my own. It's been through connection. So connection to the incredible team you've met today, connection to my family who I love and adore, and then connection to my God who allows it all to be possible in my life. And so I want to talk about you guys. Maybe Jared, you start. Tell us a little bit of your background and what you do, where you're from, and then we'll have Andrew do the same. Then we'll dive into some of those mountains we've conquered.
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up in southeast Iowa. Hunting and the outdoors was always a big part of my life. You know, my grandpa and my dad were my biggest influences in that. I've transitioned more. My career has mostly been around bow hunting. They weren't big into deer hunting. It's more like the trapping, but that's where I had my outdoor influence, learned woodsmanship, stuff like that. But I've been fortunate to build a career around such a passion of mine with regards to bow hunting. Straight out of college, I started producing media in the outdoor industry, and I'm now doing it on my own. But I've learned to appreciate, first of all, the entire process around hunting. It's not about the kill for me, but also just the documentation. I love taking a camera to the woods with me. And even if no one ever watched a single one of my hunts again, I'd still take a camera every day to the woods because I love it to look back on. You know, it's so nice to be able to relive those memories, those moments at any time that you want to. And so that's really where my career is right now, just capturing all my outdoor adventures. And I've been fortunate enough to build a platform, you know, where others like to follow those and learn from them and that type of stuff. But, you know, super grateful to be a small part of the Mountain Ops family. You know, we talk about a lot surrounding yourself with good people in life, right? And this is a perfect example of that. But it was kind of unexpected from the standpoint of, you know, you guys reached out to me and I'd used Mountain Ops products in the past and, you know, the brand ambassadorship and, you know, cool opportunity, but it became so much more. Every story I heard from someone within the Mountain Ops family or every person I met. And it's been, I think the best word is inspiring, you know, just the culture, the people, and, you know, that's really what this is all about. And I've heard your story over and over and over again, but every single time, like, you know, it hits you and it makes you think about things differently. So, you know, I couldn't be more excited to be here, you know, doing this with you guys and can't wait to see, you know, as my eyes have been open to some of the projects you guys have going on, and, you know, my wheels are turning about how I can help on a deeper level. So, yeah, just excited and grateful.
That's cool. We spoke this morning about alignment, right? When I presented to the team, and it just feels like with both of you guys, there's just some incredible alignment, where the values are similar. We think similar. We want to do good things for those around us. Talk about inspiring. I've watched your content. I've heard you on the Working Class Boat Hunter podcast, but I've watched your content in whitetail and turkey, two things that I haven't yet hunted.
Yeah.
And if there's content that inspires me to like, and it like gets my like blood going, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm fired up. I want to go out and do this. It's your content.
Well, I appreciate
It's been incredible to watch. And I haven't known you personally, but I've watched that and it gets me excited. And knowing we'd meet you today was awesome. And you're spot on with capturing content. I look at my phone, and if I go to my photos, I've got, what does it say? 81,000 photos that I've got on my phone, and I don't know how many videos, 16,257. I've always I don't have the professional look, touch, feel camera equipment other than what we've got set up here in the podcast studio. I use my phone all the time, but every hunt since I've started hunting about close to 10 years ago has been filmed pretty much. We've almost always had somebody there, a videographer with us. So all these hunts that I included my family along the way.
Yeah.
Bear hunts with my daughters, caribou hunt with my wife, all of us over in Africa, New Zealand, you name it, everywhere we've gone, we've captured it. And our family has this incredible footage to go back on and to remember those amazing experiences that honestly changed our lives and connected us in a super powerful way.
It's so valuable. It's so valuable for your own memories, like we talked about, but it also is impactful on other people that can watch that and live through your experiences. And man, I'm such an advocate for documenting that type of stuff, and even just the little moments. I personally need to do a better job at the little stuff. One thing that comes to mind is a video that I think you filmed. You were maybe driving home in your car. I think your daughter maybe just got her information with regards to her mission, but just documenting that, it's such a overlooked thing. I think when people argue against the filming and that type of stuff, one of the arguments that I see and hear a lot is that you're not living in the moment. And I see a little bit, it's a valid argument, but to me, for over the years and years of doing this, it far outweighs not living in the moment to be able to relive that moment over and over and over again. So yeah, I mean, I'm
grateful you said that, because I've thought that, and then I've heard that where people are like, hey, put your phone down, you do this and that, and sometimes I feel guilty for it. For sure. Even that day,
for sure,
filming while going home, and my eyes sweat a lot.
Yeah.
And so my eyes were sweaty going home. This is a big moment in my daughter's life and our life, and I just thought I've got to capture this, not knowing and kind of wondering like, is this kind of cheesy, whatnot, but I do it. And then one thing, it was my daughter, like, a few months later, was like, Dad, thank you for capturing those moments.
Yeah.
So grateful we have those to look back on, and so you get to relive it. You get to relive it instead of just trying to wonder and imagine what it felt like or what was going on. It's like, that's right there. Go experience it again.
Yeah. And again, I get the perspective of people saying you're not living in the moment, but the reality is you're still living in the moment. You still experience it. It's documented is what it's
super cool.
Yeah.
Well, grateful to have you here. We'll dive in a little bit more to your story, but appreciate the partnership. It's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Andrew.
Yeah.
How are you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Mountain Ops. Where was the connection, and how long ago did that occur?
Yeah, so I think it was October last year. I want to say around October. I post a lot of like fitness and bodybuilding stuff on Instagram, and it's mostly like where my following has come from. I think I maybe commented on one of your posts or something like that. It was like maybe like a Bible verse or a scripture or something like that. I think Mountain Ops followed me like right after that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I wasn't working with the supplement company. I, had the opportunity to a few different ones, but it's not something I was interested in. But I reached out.
Why were you not interested?
I wasn't, because it's just, I don't know, like it's not necessarily like, the company itself. I just think that like, it's just like, they just want to make money off of you kind of thing. So like companies will just want to work with you based off of your following and then not really care about you.
Yeah.
It's like working for a company, a company that values the employees.
Yeah.
Those employees are going to do well because they feel like they're wanted and they're needed. So it's a bit of that. But when I saw Mountain Ops, I knew that like it was an opportunity that I think maybe could be something because of what you all stand for. The fact that you put God first. You're the only supplement company that does, and only one of the companies that I actually work with it still will. Put that out there in the open. And these days, it's really important just as much as ever. And so that, and then you make amazing products. So it's stuff that I use and like I like. So I do bow hunting as well. Not as big as this guy, but I gotten into it a couple of years ago. Just whitetail because I'm from Kentucky. So yeah, I will go hunting at my wife's parents' house. They live in Eastern Kentucky, so that's where we hunt most. We have our stand set up and everything. But yeah, it's the products from Mountain Ops I use when I'm hunting and then also in the gym. So it's like combining the two passions that I have in life for like bodybuilding and now bow hunting. It's cool. It's put two of those together, and you are literally the only company that like does that. So it's like that's the perfect fit for me.
It's awesome.
And everything there is just, the reason that I thought that, this would be a great partnership.
That's incredible. No, I appreciate you bringing up God as well as like, again, back to that alignment. We truly believe that a company, a people, an organization filled with the love of God is not content with blessing our families alone.
Yeah.
And so we need partnerships, ambassadors, influencers who can help share what we are doing out in this industry that's different, that goes against the current.
It's not even just the stuff, it's everything that you all are doing outside of the products you make, the impact that you're making, helping people with the meals and everything like that. It's like, I didn't find out about that until after I started working with you all. And that's like what's drawn me even farther in. And it's just, that's incredible because there's no one doing that.
Yeah.
So you all are able to help so many people, and that's important to me.
Yeah. And it's all of us helping that, right?
Yeah.
That's the beautiful system is like when we share, word of mouth is the most incredible way to get the brand message of Mountain Ops out there. And so when we're able to share that and that there's an incredible product people can take, taste, feel the difference. And then there's a resource provided from that. And we don't take that resource and just fill our pockets. Yeah. We take that resource and we recognize that it's a blessing. It's a gift. We have stewardship over it. And so, yes, families need to be taken care of and families need to be fed. And then there's families outside the walls of Mountain Ops that have a need. And we're all hunters. We're all taking care of our bodies through nutrition and fitness. And I love that this conversation evolves around hunting and fitness. And you guys are our influencers, presenting that to the world. And but then there's these families that can't supplement for their nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe don't know to go out on the mountain to hunt. Maybe it's not a passion that they found. Maybe it's not something that they've learned. I didn't grow up doing it. So when I first learned about it, I wanted to go provide food for my family. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But we have a stewardship and a responsibility with that to not just bless our families alone, but to go throughout the world if we can. Let's start here and let's spread as far as we can to help those most vulnerable and in need. And so we need partnerships like we have with individuals like you. It's how it happens. It's how the word spreads.
It's so important because, we talk about your story and then, through your guys' faith, other generosity, making the right decisions, all that type of stuff, you are now in this position. But where my head sometimes goes is how many people did not, quote unquote, make it out of that position or are still in that position or whatever it may be. And so, what you're saying about now when you have the resources, it's time to give back, because I think, I just don't think enough people realize how many people are out there that need the help.
Yeah.
Like we get stuck getting so busy in our day-to-day lives, and I'm as guilty as anybody. But the feeling when you can make a positive impact on someone is, I don't know, there's anything better.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the, just to echo what Andrew was saying, I mean, that's one of the biggest eye-opening things about the Mountain Ops brand and why I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well, I say giving's better than receiving.
100%, right?
Yeah.
I agree. So you guys came this morning, first time to the headquarters here at Mountain Ops, and we had quite the surprise for a few of our customers. Tell me what that was like. Tell me what it was like just being here with our team. You're getting to know people, some of us for the first time in person. And then we received these individuals who just each won $10,000 and they've been recognized for their hard work. What does that mean to be a part of something like that?
It's incredible that you're able to support people that support you in that fashion. I just think that's amazing. And for them, after hearing their story, I don't know if it's like necessarily like a super common story for a lot of people, but I think a lot of people can relate to it, and a lot of people are going through the same things.
Yep.
So the fact that they're able to share and be vulnerable, I think is going to be huge for other people reaching out and then trying to make a change in their life too. So I think the message is oftentimes part of the mess of your life. So like the messier things are, the bigger message you have, because the more people are going to be able to relate to it. So it's hard for a lot of people to actually put themselves out there and be vulnerable, I think. I mean, our society tells us as guys, and I guess girls too, that, you know, being vulnerable is weakness. But I just think that, like, if you're showing weakness, it's not necessarily that you're weak. It's just you're willing to try and get stronger. And then, you know, you're willing to take steps and connect with people that can maybe help you. So I just think that's big. And just hearing them tell their stories about how they got to where they are now, checks aside, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. How has that kind of mentality helped you in your life, being vulnerable? I mean, you're working towards a pretty big bodybuilding competition next year, maybe a few, it sounds like. That takes discipline, it takes diligence, but maybe some vulnerability as well to learn from others. And how's that played a role in your own transformation and progress in your fitness?
It's for me, it's like, I guess a lot of people bodybuilding in general have what's called body dysmorphia. So like you'll be like, okay, you know, I don't look as good as I think I do, or, you know, whatever that means. But it's hard because you're very hard on yourself. So mentally it's tough. Physically, yeah, it's tough, but I think it's more of a mental struggle just to try and you don't necessarily want to compare yourself to other people, but, you know, you kind of have to, just to kind of put yourself out there to try and win.
Yeah.
So it's just, I love doing it just for the fact of, you know, lifting weights and eating and, you know, doing the training and everything, but it's just going to change entirely next year. We actually get into a competition prep. It's just going to be very hard. I know for sure just doing it itself, but we're expecting our second kid in 2 months. So there'll be a new baby in the house. Yeah. Little girl. So I'm excited, but it's going to be something that, you know, it's just going to navigate stuff at home and then try to be present with your family, give them the time and the attention that they need.
Yeah.
Especially because I've been able to give my son so much of it. You know, he's 3, he's going to turn 4 in August, but I want to make sure that I'm there for my daughter for sure. Give her the same focus on attention that I can. So
that's awesome.
It's going to be a rocky road, I think, next year, but it's something that I'm looking forward to.
Something to work after and to conquer, right?
Yeah, to conquer. That's right.
That's awesome. Yeah. What about you, Jared, this morning coming in and seeing the team and seeing that experience with these customers who have put their heart and souls into what they've done?
Man, it's so cool. Just, there's a couple of things that stick out to me. One, you know, they obviously are, you know, hearing Abby and James' story and then Cody and Sherry's, they obviously had people inspiring them, but now they are kind of doing the inspiring, you know, as they go. So it's this competition or this conquer journey that's going to keep on giving because they're now impacting a lot of other people. So I think that's really powerful. But the other thing too, when you hear their stories, it's not, I would say the minority of their success is physical. You know, it's very obvious it was physical. But when you hear their stories, it's so mental, it's so emotional, it's so all these other benefits that my guess is they didn't expect when they signed up to do it. And so I think that's one of the more inspiring things to me. And man, I'm looking forward to just trying to get into it more just from hearing their stories. So they are clearly doing inspiring that they probably didn't expect to do.
Yeah, it inspires in an incredible way. And you're right to see James and Abby here who are in a position now, I shared this earlier, you're most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were, right? Once you've been through something, experienced something, you have empathy, you can respond to the need, you can support, you can help lift as you go.
Right.
And that's what the Mountain Ops brand is all about. That's what the community is all about. It's what I see in you guys and in these individuals that are here today and the team that we have here. So it's pretty incredible. What's something in your life that like a mountain that you've conquered or that you're trying to conquer right now that you're excited about, or that you're excited about the achievement you once gained? What's something you'd want to share so people can get a little glimpse into who you guys are?
I don't know that I have anything specific. I think a lot of it is just your everyday, just trying to be a better person, you know, a better family man, a better, just have a better impact on those around you. And like I said earlier, I've been fortunate to have built a platform of, you know, people that either follow or look up to me or whatever, even if it's on a local basis. And I need to not take that for granted. I need to use that in a positive way. And we've talked about the alignment, like that's something that I think about a lot. Hearing your story about your dad. My dad passed at a young age from cancer, and that was one of the biggest eye-opening experiences for me, like just with life in general. And it wasn't like it was cancer. He's a very healthy, fit guy, physical labor all his entire life. But it was eye-opening in that, that type of stuff doesn't discriminate, and you need to enjoy everything you have while you have it.
100%.
And I mean, there's a lot of things like that. Like, I think it was heart disease, and I have and still have 3 different heart conditions. And while it doesn't bother me or slow me down, it does make you think about your health a lot more, just stuff like that. And, I have family members that are going through things. And, one example with regards to mountain ops, sleep deprivation leads to a lot of different things when it comes to mental health and just
a lot of physical issues too.
Yeah, for sure. And trying things over and over and over again, and then try and slumber and having it make a positive impact. And it just seems like such a simple thing, like a good night's sleep, or at least a decent night's sleep, but the chain effect
or life on everything else.
Yeah. So lots of examples of that, of people around me in my life that that, again, the positive impact, right? You just try to be better every single day, and that's where I'm at. I'd say if I was to pick one mountain, it's kind of what I was saying earlier is just not get so distracted by the busyness of life and what needs to be done, because I'm still in the midst of trying to build my career, trying to build a good life for my family. But along with that, you have to be able to step back and take time to, you said it this morning, sometimes we find ourselves not spending enough time or focus on our family, just because it's so easy to fall into that trap of working and more.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to be better at that from an everyday perspective.
Yeah, being present, especially when you have a spouse or a child, and giving them that time and attention. Through your content, I love the little posts that you make about your daughter too, and she's teaching people how to fish, and here's what we're doing today, and here's what you put the worm on, and this and that. And so I can tell that you're attentive, and you're giving her that time and attention to the life that she would desire, the relationship she would want with her father. It's pretty incredible, and that's a gift. So not everyone takes the time to give that intentionality to relationships that matter most, and so it's just commendable. So
I appreciate it.
It's awesome. Yeah, Andrew, what about you? What's any mountains you've been climbing or have conquered? Too many.
Whole mountain range, I'm sure.
That's the thing. You climb one, and there's another.
There's another right behind it.
It's always that way.
It is, and there really are so many. I mean, for bodybuilding, it's just that going into it, it's just that it's a very selfish sport. It's something like I want to make sure that like I can give my family the time and the attention they need, like I've mentioned before. But it's just that I want to make sure that they know that that's not first. Like they come before it. So
awesome.
Sorry, it's just
sweaty ass, right?
Yeah,
it's real.
But I mean, I'll do it as long as God lets me.
Yeah.
So God first, family, bodybuilding.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. You've got your priorities straight, and then I'm sure your family sees it and feels it, and that's what we need to focus on. It's connections that matter most, right?
Yeah, all right.
And so that's awesome, guys. I appreciate you both being here. Where can people find you if they want to follow along, learn about bodybuilding, learn about see your content that you create in the outdoors with whitetail and hunting back east, and where can they find you?
Instagram, just for me, that's the only platform I use. I don't know if I'll do a YouTube eventually or not, but I think I probably will as farther we get into it, for like the prep and then showing home life and then how everything has to be balanced. I kind of want to do something leading up to it. So I'll probably launch a YouTube channel.
Very cool.
But just Instagram for now.
It's cool. It's awesome.
Yeah, social media and YouTube. YouTube is probably my primary platform. I enjoy just the longer form content videos, because I enjoy storytelling, and that's typically a better platform to be able to tell full stories, and people get invested in video to video there, so it makes it easier to tell those stories. I do post on social media, just not as much or as frequent. So YouTube is the best spot to follow the longer form content.
Cool. Let's get out and do a story around learning how to whitetail hunt with this. And then I can't wait to follow along as well with your bodybuilding competition.
I will be posting more bow stuff too. So it's just I don't post a whole lot of that content yet, but I probably will.
It's all good. I think our audience out there loves to see the combination of hunting, fitness, nutrition, life. Just seeing people experience life with family and friends, and even bringing God into it, and recognizing that higher ground that we all have to look to, and the powerful influence that can be. One last question as we wrap up, kind of a deep one. When all is said and done, how will you measure your life? Whoever wants to go first.
I know for me, it's going to be how my kids turn out, and the fact that I hope they want to spend time around. So
yeah.
I just want to be the best father and husband I can, ultimately. So
it's really cool. Them wanting to spend time with you is incredible. Yeah.
I think it's a summary of what we've talked about. How big of an impact did you make on others? And I want people to eventually look or talk about me and say, he gave more than he took. And I think if I can accomplish that, then, it's a good thing.
That's awesome. So much opportunity for that, right? If they're just intentional about it.
You focus. Yeah.
Very cool, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate your partnership at Mountain Ops. It means the world to us. And check these guys out. Jared Mills and Andrew Loucks, incredible partners of Mountain Ops here. And we've been talking about conquering in life and relationships that matter most, and their experience here at the Mountain Ops headquarters today. We hope to have many other people come and experience what they have. And to that end, we just wish everyone a awesome day and get out and conquer more.
That's right.
Thank you. Grateful to be here.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.